when it comes
wait,
in.
are we not going to talk about Vice?
Oh, do you want? Oh, yeah, I didn't have that even on the list because
That's like the biggest news that we got.
You like this news?
Yeah, about to say
I don't like it. I'm just saying it's big.
Tell it to me.
Yeah, Striker, you can explain this one because I was just gonna go straight over it.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of on par with what we've been seeing from Cloud9 for like months or even years. If you consider like how they got in Stewie, at which point they got Stewie, which at the time was a really controversial move. When they got Automatic, a lot of people were also not convinced. So for them to get like another, like one of these, well, I don't want to say youngsters because he's not that young anymore. He's been around for quite a while, Vice. So it's not, he's not much of a newcomer to the scene, but still, like when you see Cloud9 do this move, it's not even surprising anymore. The problem is I just don't see what their plan is with this. I mean, obviously they didn't get their priority, and that's something that we talked about last time or like 2 episodes ago when Sunny was rumored to join Cloud9, and I'm sure they had other options as well before Vice, because I feel like that must have been like a further down the line kind of option. But yeah,
for Sunny's career, that's good that didn't happen though. Like, to be completely honest, for Sunny, that's really good.
Don't go to North America and die, basically.
I agree with that. It's just there. The thing is, at this point, Cloud9 are probably having trouble like getting any like semi-good European players to go over, just because of the I don't know, the being homesick and everything like that. That we've seen a lot of European players just kind of go through and go back to Europe after a couple of months. Just, I don't know, look at Simple when he was with Liquid, and now Kiyoshima is apparently going through something similar. We still don't know what's going to happen with that, by the way. It could be another change coming in, and that would make this one actually kind of more understandable, just because if they have having trouble getting one player, like one good player from Europe, they're definitely not getting two. Like that's not happening. So for them to kind of grab into the lower tier of North America, it makes sense, just because they probably don't have that many good options anyway. So it's like, I don't like this, just because I don't see this improving Cloud9 in any way. But I kind of understand that they didn't have much other options.
But this isn't this to me, like, okay, so when we started talking about Cloud9 at the start of the year, pre-major, before we had the E-League event, all that stuff go down, I said that I thought that this team was a dumpster fire, right? Because in my heart of hearts, I thought eventually Flusher, Keo, and Golden were all going to want to go back to Europe, right? You're not going to want to stay in America for a very long period of time. That's just the way it is. These kids, like, they're still quite young. Keo is the perfect example. His girlfriend lives in the UK. He's lived with her for some years. So this isn't a thing that he's probably gone into. This was a chance for him to I guess, the rebirth of Keo's career, right? And I think that he's done a fantastic job at showing he's a solid player, and he could be picked up in a French lineup. He could play in an international team, but in Europe, not in North America, right? So for this to go down in that way and then bring in Vice, this is, for me, isn't a conversation about Vice. It's a conversation about the steps forward for this team. If you're Automatic and Rush, you need Keo to stay to keep your major spot. We've already debunked the fact that Golden doesn't get it. We went hard on that as soon as that came out as news, and we've come to the bottom of that. So Golden doesn't get the major spot, and Keo, he's in the UK right now. I'm pretty sure I saw a video on Instagram or Twitter just like yesterday or some shit with him and his girlfriend on a treadmill in the UK, I'm pretty sure. So like, not on the same treadmill, and treadmills next to each other. But the point here is he's not even in the US right now. So how are they practicing? And if they are, they're practicing with high ping, which is whatever it is. And if I was players like Automatic and Rush, Automatic already got really disgruntled last time he felt that he had to rebuild. Don't remember that? He was like, oh, I'm just going to play fucking Fortnite or some shit, because Fortnite at that time got announced as like $100 million or whatever the fuck it was. So he's been disgruntled in the past before. And if I'm Golden and I'm looking at all these different bits and pieces going on in Europe right now, well, FaZe need a fucking in-game leader. Swedish Counter-Strike's about to fucking implode. I'm not staying with this team. I want to get back to... He must still be in Sweden because of these health issues, right? So all these things factor into this Cloud9 team probably not going to happen at all, even though they brought Vice in. I still don't understand that. I think that what they should have done is try and buy players from other teams and use the brand power of Cloud9 to pick up the other good names. So keep Automatic and keep Rush, 100%. They're your mantelpieces. I think Automatic is a fantastic player. But then get You could have. They should have fucking Envious beat them to the punch. That Som kid, I don't know about his attitude, right? That's not something that I fucking delve into. I don't watch the streams. I don't fucking geek out watching their FPL, Rankers, whatever the fuck that is. I don't read the Reddit, the drama, and the Twitter drama. I just watch them play CS. And when I watch him play CS, he seems like he knows what he's doing. You bring this kid in. Okay, that's another bit of young blood in the team. I think Wardell as an AWPer. Or if you couldn't get Wardell because he's tied to Ghost too closely, then you get Nifty. Like, I think Nifty still has potential to be a good AWP player, right? But now Nifty's tied to Envious, so then he's not going to want to leave that brand either. So if you could have gotten either of those two AWP players, now you've got like a good 4. I know that Automatic is doing a good job on the AWP, but Automatic as a player is like a carbon copy in my mind. Yeah, he should be like a free player to roam around and do whatever he wants, pick up the AWP when he feels it, because he's like an instinctual player in my mind. So like, let's say that you got Som in, there's your 3. Let's say you got Wardell, like this is the dream that I'm looking at right now. And then, fuck, I think that Envious again made a pretty good pickup with Android. Android getting dropped from Complexity was like a question mark to me in the first place. I was like, really? Like, he's one of your better fragging pieces and you just replaced him? It's like, that was confusing to me as well. So I think there's a lot of good pieces of the puzzle there in North America, and you shouldn't be looking abroad if you're Cloud9. Understand that your major is gone. Understand that
give up on it.
And that's shit. Like, that sucks. But you have the biggest fan base in North America, right? They're still going to love you regardless. You have 2 really iconic players who have won a major in your team. Build and be good, because right now we've got Liquid. Right now we've got NRG. They're both looking pretty solid. Cloud9 can be the 3rd. North Americans can start looking as the most deadly it's ever looked in the history of Counter-Strike. I think Ghost as a team, obviously they have Wardell, and I want to take Wardell, but I think them as a team looking pretty nice. Their biggest issue is Steel. Unfortunately, he's still banned and he can't play at the majors. That sucks, but you know, there's definitely pieces of the puzzle here that could come together, and you could have a 3rd good North American team.
And this is the thing, right? When you're looking at what Cloud9 have here, you've already given up the major spot. You know you're fucked there. So why not rebuild something that's very successful or could be successful, or put some investment in that side of things? I think the main thing with the whole Envy now is, like, look at when Envy first launched. That lineup was pretty damn bad. Then they started to do a little bit better. But this change, this Envy actually looks fucking scary in comparison to what a Cloud9 has to offer right now. And they should just be sat there going, all right, let's just wait for whoever else we've got left for this shit to run out and spend our money wisely rather than doing dumb shit. Because that's all it's been for the last, what, few months?
It's been going on for a year, man.
Yeah, you get why they were trying to plug the holes with the Europeans, because they were still like a contender, right? They were still like a scary prospect. But as soon as this fucking boat has just been blown open by a nuke, they're fucked, right? Like, at that point, it's all over. So I think that somebody needs to take the reins, and that's probably going to have to be Rambo, right? He's taken over the coaching role, but he's going to need to get the go-ahead, and I don't know if this is going to happen. I have a feeling that like I said, if Swedish Counter-Strike keeps going in the way it's going, Golden has to be like the best in-game leader they can look towards, right? Like, he has a really good opportunity to go back there. FaZe is in a bit of struggle street right now. We don't know what's going to happen with them after Shanghai. They might look to change a player.
I don't see FaZe like having respect for Golden though.
That's unfortunate. Like, we said the same thing when he joined Fnatic in the first place, though, and they won IEM Katowice last year with him, right? And people might say, yeah, well, it was Flusher winning those amazing clutches. It definitely was, but when I saw Golden come into the team originally, what he brought was a bit more structure and a bit more strategy back to Swedish Counter-Strike, which wasn't missing from NIP, but was missing from Fnatic, because Fnatic just went super brawly. So he impressed me in that regard, and he was a pretty decent fragger. Like, it didn't feel like a liability. He didn't feel like somebody that was anchoring. So it's a lot of moves that have to happen, but I think that the writing's on the wall for Cloud9, and maybe they just don't want to read it.
Yeah. I mean, they're too deep into this European shit that it's kind of hard to get out of it. Like, it's not going to happen that they're just going to remove, unless Kyo's already out. Like, it's not going to happen that they'll just remove Golden unless he also, like you say, gets an offer from somewhere in Europe, either Sweden or FaZe or whatever else. They're not just going to make these moves on their own. They're not just going to say, okay, Kyo, Golden, get out. Let's get a North American lineup again. Like, that's going to be a gradual process. And I mean, the issue is this has been going on for a year, like I said before. Like, this could go on for another 6 months before Golden leaves or whatever. Before Kyo actually is confirmed gone, like another couple of months. And you're looking at like another half a year of Cloud9 being like in limbo, basically doing nothing and just like going through constant lineup changes. So this is just, it's a very hard circle to get out of.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what they actually can do in trying to get out of it, because it's just a waiting game for now, right? We've kind of covered on multiple times at different points talking about what Cloud9 can offer.